Hello, I'm Alice Grace from Orange County Library System, and we're here at the Washington Park Library in Orlando, Florida, capturing memories from our community. Can you please tell us your name and where you're from?
Sure. My name is Dr. Curtis D. Coleman. I'm originally from Columbus, Georgia, and I moved here in 1986 to reside in this city, beautiful, here in Orlando.
Beautiful. What is your earliest memory of the Washington Shores community?
My earliest memories would be some that of recent. It was span back in about 2 years ago, within this span of the community. The services here that has been rendered through the community actions programs that was within the community, as well as the local library services, and there's also a local maternity health department that is also within this facility here as well. The service with all three operations, along with the Head Start program, is truly a large benefits for the community, as most certainly for individuals throughout the community here in Orange County.
What would you say was the happiest moment of your life?
Wow. It spans from my years in school. It spanned from persons who had inspired me previous in pursuing education, realizing that education is a tool. It's a not only God-given ability, but it's something that will have one to achieve other things within one's life that they otherwise they are unable to achieve. My education spans first started from my brought my mother, as well as my father, and my aunts and uncles. I've had that loving environment that I was raised with and raised under, and so there was a point though in one span of my life to where I wasn't doing so well, and just so happens I was able to go and attend Job Corps in Cherokee, North Carolina. There I excelled, had wonderful persons, wonderful mentors within the program. Through those programs, I managed to later, after the completions of many other types of activities and educational programs, as well as programs such as cooking and welding and auto mechanics. Per that, I was able to excel and attend one of the most prestigious black colleges in, I would say, in the history of our great nation, if I may add, and that's the College of Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia. And the history of Morehouse College, we know that Dr. Benjamin Mays, Dr. Andrew Young, Dr. Martin Luther King, and other great minds, Dr. Samuel D. Proctor, and others, Spike Lee, Samuel L. Jackson. There were a case even where Dr. Cosby, Bill Cosby's son, Enos Cosby, had also attended the great halls of that wonderful school, along with, there's another great actor that we all familiar with who's recently coming out with an awesome show. His son actually attends Morehouse and played football. And as I'm sitting here thinking, I'm trying to remember his name actually. But along from Morehouse, there was Emory University, another great college that I was able and blessed to attend. And through those facilities, I had such great mentors as Dr. Carter, and as well as previous, there was also Dr. Kevin Carter, and Cherokee, North Carolina, when I attended there. Along with that, I've been able to speak at Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, traveled the Midwest, traveled and spoke at various different types of churches, even spoken at synagogues. I read Hebrew very fluently. But the greater part of it is there are others that has been a great mentor to that of myself per Black history. There was a gentleman by the name of Dr. E.D. Phillips. Dr. Phillips was one of the pioneers of the 9th Episcopal District in Alabama. Dr. Phillips started churches, and per his start of churches in barnyards or in people's garages, and through that the Lord had enabled him to build a great bulk of the 9th Episcopal District, and I had the wonderful pleasure of sitting under him as well as W.M. Body, who he's currently a retired elder of the 9th Episcopal District there in Alabama, and of the late Bishop, presiding Bishop, Bishop C. Thomas of the 9th Episcopal District. I was blessed to be ordained by that wonderful prelate of the 9th Episcopal District, along with all of those accolades, all the way down from Bethune-Cookman College. I have friends there, Dr. Kevin James, who is per the Board of Trustees at Bethune-Cookman College, Dr. Ingram, who is a wonderful colleague of mine. I had the pleasure of traveling into Daytona and ministering at other places there in Daytona, traveling in the surrounding areas, all the way up into St. Augustine, which is a very beautiful location. But per the history, there are so many persons that have poured into my spirit, that have poured into me knowledge. And per them pouring into me knowledge, I in terms want to share those very same knowledge. And this community has been truly blessed with several of the programs that they have here. I had mentioned earlier about the Community Actions Program. We have great persons who's overseeing those programs, Dr. Bell and Mr. Carl Anderson as well. A few others, wonderful individual, Mr. Cliff Thomas. And you also have other parties that's per the Head Start program that is overseeing a wonderful spectrum in how they well cared for our little ones there with Head Start. But there is such a broad spectrum. Locally, here in Orlando, currently I'm also one of the social ministers of Zion Hill Missionary Baptist Church, where Jesse Ivory is pastoring there. Him and his wonderful wife, Miss Ruth Ivory, are outstanding persons per the community. There are Sheriff Demings as well, and him and his wonderful wife. Had a wonderful pleasure of meeting with those parties. Myself, along with Geraldine Thompson, who is a state representative, along with her husband, Judge Thompson. We've all attended and was part of the recent Seminole County NAACP banquet where Judge and Mrs. Thompson, she actually was the spokesperson for that event. Dr. Bracy, along at Covenant Missionary Baptist Church. You have Dr. Youth over at First Baptist. Such wonderful pillars throughout the community that has added such a perfect blend per the community, and which makes this place a wonderful place to live, which makes this place a wonderful place to just walk through and be a part of such. And there are even cases where you now, there's, since Mr. and Mrs. Demings have took over office, and to my understanding, she's currently running for state representative, and by all means, I urge, all support, if I may say so myself. But there are areas where others, even within our church, there's a gentleman that's in our church. He is over 85 or 87, I think it's 87 or 97 years of age. He was once our chairman of our deacon board, Chairman Johnson, and such humble persons. And him, along with as another person named Miss Sarah Lynn, is also a great pillar within the community of the surrounding areas. And there are many, many more whose names, if I continue, is a very long list of persons. Yeah, so, but per their imparting, and per sitting with them, per getting to know one's own identity, per their areas of life and how they've traveled and learning from their experiences is areas to where I enjoy doing, areas to where when here at the Community Actions, there are things whereby I've actually have helped persons with other important documents such as 501c3s, such as grant writing, such as helping persons who's not so well familiar with a computer, but helping them become familiarized with that and sitting down and assisting them in any other forms of way possible to where they can achieve what it is that they need to achieve. All the way down from helping with other forms of documents typed and things of that nature. So it really spans. One thing I love about this community is that it's a loving community. It's a community that is well reaching out to the members of that community. There's several homeowners within the community, and they contribute a lot per this community. When there are homeowners association meetings, I've met with a few and process of making sure that their community are safe. There are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful groups of people here within this loving community.
It is wonderful. Oh, you've expounded on so much
Yes, ma'am.
beautiful, helpful information.
Thank you.
That is so beautiful.